Alright guys, back on the F100 build. I'm going to do things a little bit differently this time. I'm going to shoot this entire thing on my iPhone. I just want to try it out and see. I have a nice camera and stuff, but a lot of times it's kind of a pain to actually pull out and get set up with a tripod and everything. So I'm just going to try this on my phone this time. Today we're going to try and tackle some of this rust on the drip rail. So guys, as you can see, the truck is pretty bad. So I bought this truck specifically because it's really not a very good starting point, because I'm gonna be doing with some stuff with the truck later on that may kind of ruin its value a little bit. So I just wanted to start with something that wasn't amazing. So part of that was, you know, all the rust on the drip rail. So surprisingly, the floor pans in this truck are still good. A lot of the normal spots you would think are bad are actually good, but this is pretty much completely gone. So I went back a couple weeks ago and sanded all of this down. So as you can see here, especially right here, somebody tried to fix this with fiberglass at some point, which obviously that probably just made it worse and peel some of it off here. So I knew I was gonna have to do this, so it's not that big of a deal, but I am gonna have to cut off along this whole edge and then start replacing this metal. So that's what we're gonna try to do today. I'm only gonna worry about probably above this passenger door right now, and then later on start working my way across the entire cab. But yeah, I'm gonna try to get a tape flat edge, mark a line where I can cut here, and then maybe, you know, work this in 3 sections, and from here, and this compound curve is what's really gonna get me. So we save that for last, but we'll try to work our way back from here forward. Try not to go too terribly high, because I want to try and leave as much paint as we can, but we got to replace this rod out. So I'm going to grab the grinder and go to work. Okay, so I've kind of got my lines marked up here. I tried to go about halfway in between. There is a ridge right there, a hard edge. So I don't want to get up into that. I want to keep that because that's going to be hard to body work. So went about halfway up that, over here to my corner. I'll worry about that later. But ran that back. In this first section, I'm going to try and worry about. Try to keep it in the smaller sections. So I think I'm going to come up right here with a body saw and run up here and then across and down. There is a roof support somewhere right about here. You might be able to see it a little bit on the inside, but it is a couple inches away from this outer skin, so I don't think the body saw is going to contact it, so I think I'm good there. So run our airline over here and start to chop away at our body. So here's the first piece, and this is what I was fighting. This massive glob of Bondo back behind it. So the issue with using fiberglass and Bondo to fix rust is there's a good chance that the water is going to get back in behind the fiberglass and the Bondo, and then it's going to be sitting back behind it and causing it to rust out faster. So pretty sure that's what happened here. Here is all the Bondo that got stuffed in back behind here. Looks like there's still maybe some metal stuck there, but so next task will be to chip out all of this, turn this into a cardboard template, and then replace that. And I actually got to come back and finish this edge here. Well, I'll take a look at that, but yeah, I'm gonna chisel away at this stuff next. Okay, so turn a paper template into some metal, and fits pretty good. I'm not a sheet metal guy, so this isn't gonna be perfect, but definitely gaps that I can weld up. So I'm gonna pull out the old Eastwood MIG Welder and go to town. I'm afraid that I am gonna have to come back here with seam sealer and fill in the gutter just to make sure there's no pinholes or anything like that, but there's definitely gonna have to be some Bondo over this to get it all smoothed out, but that was to be expected. I am, like I said, not a sheet metal guy. Okay, so I have the Eastwood plugged in, and I had to kind of guess on the wire or the metal thickness. I don't have calipers with a working battery right now, I don't have a material thickness gauge, so just kind of guess with that. And I did set it to tack mode, and supposedly I just pulled the trigger and it creates a good tack. We'll find out. Well, it's about right, but the shielding gas wasn't good enough. So I'm gonna work on this a little bit and I'll show you guys what it looks like with it in place. Okay guys, well it turns out the actual adjustment was down, so there's actually no gas coming out. That explains why it was tacking bad, but holy smokes, I am completely sold on the Eastwood's tack function. Again, I'm not a sheet metal guy, so I mean I can tack, but I've never had tacks lay down this nicely. This is actually awesome. So this is fitting up pretty well. I got a little bit of a low spot here that I'll have to fill in with some Bondo, but that's looking pretty good. So now I gotta start thinking about down here. I don't know if the tack function is going to give me enough fill to gap that, but we'll find out. But man, I am pumped on that. So again, this is Eastwood MIG 180. I think it came out new in 2020. It's 2021 now, but so it has 2T, 4T, and tack. So 2T is you pull the trigger, and as long as you're holding the trigger, it's going to be welding. 4T is you press it once to make it start welding, press it again to make it stop welding, and the tack function, it does all the work for you to get a tack weld. And I would say they look pretty stinking good. Okay, got this thing hopefully fully welded in. I'll have to come back, grind all this out, and see if I missed any spots, but it's looking really good. Man, that tack feature is super duper nice. These are laying down pretty darn flat. Not perfect, but definitely good. And down here, I just kind of did what I could. I'm gonna have to rough this whole area back up and then probably put a pretty big bead of some good seam seal on there, just to make sure that we don't have this rot back out in another 10 years or so. And I don't know if I can show it very well, get the focus. You see I've kind of got a dip right there at the center of the screen, right where this piece kind of comes in, so probably will have to body work that. But that's okay. That's what Bondo's for, is to fill in the low spots for stuff like this. So we can grind all this off and see what we got. Okay, so last night I came in and did a next section. So another 10 inches or so up here, and went ahead, got everything prepped and primed just so it wouldn't rust as it's sitting here. Thankfully, the drip rail up here wasn't quite as bad. I know it still doesn't look perfect, but that is better than some of the stuff down here. It was very rusted, so these welds are not amazing. And I don't know if you can tell, it's definitely wavy and stuff, but thankfully the metal plate is further in, so I can, fix that with Bondo. And I went ahead and cut out this section here. So this is probably as far as I'm gonna go today or now. I'm gonna have to eventually do the entire drip rail, but I don't wanna, spend too much time with it. So got this section here, cut it out, and I laid it over the bench and flattened it out so that I can trace this edge. And then I'll just have to kind of come in and I guess, more or less guess on this bottom edge here, be a little bit difficult. So I was gonna start on it last night, but I did not have, this is a fiberglass welding blanket. It keeps stuff from burning. So there's a little bit of a hole, see some light coming through there where the rust has come through. So I was putting a piece here just to add some metal, so I've got something to weld to. And when I did that, sparks came down and left a couple of marks on my windshield. So liquid metal and glass doesn't really work, so I ran to Harbor Freight, got this thing, like 20 bucks or something like that. I've been meaning to get one for a while, so I'm gonna try to, well actually I'm gonna probably cut this metal out first. It's storming outside, there's some lightning. I don't wanna plug my welder in and get it zapped. And I'm also gonna look at this here. I need to kind of decide if this is supposed to be like this or if this is supposed to be connected. See what factory it is, because I probably will replace this, because it's nice if the rain goes off the edge instead of sitting here and going down the seal. So we're gonna trace this out and get another piece of metal cut and just keep on moving around. All right guys, now the weekend, had a couple days to work on this and made it all the way around. both passenger door, and halfway across the whole entire windshield. So this is my setup to get up here. I've got a ladder, and I've been resting on this board here to try and get up here. Even though the truck's lowered, it's still way too difficult to get up there. I tried to bridge something across here, but ended up just spreading my weight across this on the cowl and the hood. Supports my weight pretty good, and I'm a pretty small guy, but yeah, made it all the way across to right here. Same with this seam. And I think this is where I'm gonna stop. For one, I need to start working on this side, which I don't have very much room at all. So I need to pull the truck out, spin it around. And this whole gutter on this side is actually pretty good. Obviously, you know, where I stopped, there's some bad metal, but I think what I'm gonna do is put some aluminum tape over that and primer over it, just so it's sealed up for now in case I don't, you know, finish out this entire thing. But I wasn't planning on going this far. I was planning on stopping right there, but I mean, I was hoping to hit a good spot of metal where I could end, but there's just nothing, unfortunately. So, but very glad to have gotten this far along. So guys, I think I'm gonna end the video there. Again, thank you guys for watching along with this part of it. You know, getting this done was not a priority on the project as far as a whole, but I was talking to my dad the other day, and he kind of made good sense, you know, get everything ready to sell at any time. So what that kind of means is get everything fixed. It needs to be fixed in order to sell a truck. So if something happens, you need to sell it, you can sell it and start to recoup your money. You know, with that bad roof line, it definitely was gonna be a hard sell. So now that that metal is being replaced, all the next stuff that I end up doing will just be more value to it. So thanks for watching, guys. I'll catch you guys next time. Let me know what you think about just having a cell phone video versus having my nice cameras. This is a little bit easier. I know this kind of jumped around a little bit. You know, I don't have enough time to just sit and work on this stuff, you know, knock it out on one day and really pay attention to what I'm doing. So usually 1 or 2 hours in the afternoon, but we're getting it done. Thanks for watching, guys.